Thanks for joining us for the third edition of the York Alliance Weekly. In the past few weeks, we've been able to connect through our community groups and through the zone worship gatherings. In the future weeks, we'll be able to connect through the Rocky Railway, which is a kids program that starts this week, and I'm so excited about that. God has been working this summer, and today you're going to get to hear a few stories about what that looks like locally. But before we do that, there are some final tweaks and adjustments to what those zone gatherings on Sundays are going to look like. Pastor Brian is going to tell you about them, so I'll pass you to him.
Hey York Alliance, well, it's been a great joy over these last couple weeks to jump into zone worship gatherings. Things have gone really well. There's still a couple tweaks that we're making, but by and large, it's been a great chance to be together, be out in parks around the county and connecting with one another. As we jump into the rest of the summer, let me give you just 4 thoughts as we jump into the rest of the season. First of all, I want to let you know that at all 3 locations, there are fans that will be blowing toward the speaker and the worship leader at all of the sites. Therefore, if you want to come in a little closer, if you want to use the picnic tables for seating, if you want to bring your chairs into the pavilion, you're very welcome to do that. If it's easier for you to be outside and spread out a little bit, that's totally fine as well. But we want to let you know that we're blowing towards those who are speaking and singing in order to provide as much safety as we possibly can. Number 2, I want to let you know that it's been a great joy to see young families jumping in each week. If you have a young family and you just aren't sure how this was going to go, can I encourage you, maybe check it out, maybe try. I have been blown away by how well our kids have done and how well our young families have done at each of these locations. It's been really fun to have them there. And because of the hour-long services, they've been able to stay connected. We have lots of activities for them, so it's been really good. Let me encourage you to jump into that if you haven't tried that yet. Number 3, speaking of kids, Rocky Railway starts this week. So we're so excited for this opportunity to both connect with our kids and reach out into neighborhoods. So if you haven't yet gotten a packet of materials, contact Beth Wharton or Kristen Mitchell and they'll be glad to get it to you. And as soon as even this zone worship gathering week, we can still get you information and still get you materials as everything starts to get up and moving this summer. We're really excited about that. And finally, number 4, every week, just double check locations before you head out. Our primary locations will be the same most weeks. When we make a significant change to a different park or something like that, we'll certainly let you know in a variety of different ways. But the locations within each park, the pavilions that we're in, may change week to week. Obviously, when you get there, you can look for signs, and we want to have people there that will direct you the right way. But if you just check before you leave, you'll find pavilion names each week that are updated so you can see where we're going to be and how best to get there. We're so looking forward to this summer. It's been a great opportunity so far to be able to connect with one another, and we're looking forward to what the summer brings. Thanks so much. Back to you, Kira.
We're almost at the end of June, which means the first Wednesday of July is just around the corner. First Wednesday is a powerful time that we can gather together as a body to worship and pray. Margaret Shuey, our intercessory prayer coordinator, is going to tell you more about that next.
We are so excited to be able to gather together in person again. We'll meet here in the lower parking lot on July 1st from 6:30 to 8 to be able to connect our hearts with the heart of God. Here at York Alliance, we do many things, but we do believe that the most important thing we do is prayer, that is what drives everything that we do. And so we're excited to be able to gather to worship, to confess our hearts, but also at this particular first Wednesday, we will be from this parking lot praying for the world. Most times in the summer, we send short-term mission teams to our global partners, and we can't do that this year, but we can still reach the world through prayer. And so I hope that you will join us as we pray for the world and also pray for York County and for the United States. We all need to be seeking God's heart in all of this. So I hope to see you Wednesday. I know it's a busy time in the summer, but hopefully you can put this on your calendar and be here on Wednesday, July 1st, 6:30 to 8.
Wow, what an important opportunity, Margaret. Thank you for sharing about that. God has been working locally, but he has also been working globally. Last week you got to see how your giving affects our missionaries overseas. But this week I want you to hear from Tim Meyer, the Vice President for Development with the C&MA. You'll also hear from Pastor Mike about some opportunities that you can get involved with this summer.
This COVID-19 pandemic has disrupted our lives, and it has left no segment of society untouched. Here in this country and all over the world, we're all facing a lot of challenges. But we're part of something big in the Alliance, and I don't want us to forget that in this moment. We have 2,000 churches here in this country and 700 workers around the world who are bringing gospel presence in a very weird and difficult situation. But amid all this bad news, God's doing something new, like Isaiah 43 says. In fact, just this week, I heard from some of my friends who said that the place that they've been serving for the last 9 years has seen little to no receptivity to the gospel. But because of what's going on with the virus, there's new openness in the last 2 weeks. Another of your workers who's leading a small church plant, averaging 50 to 100 on a really good Sunday, has seen thousands of people joining their live stream every week to hear about Jesus, many of whom for the very first time. See, God's doing something special in this time. Great Commission Day is a long tradition in the Alliance. Normally we send out packets and all those things, but this is a different kind of year, and we're doing it differently. We're going digital, and everybody has an opportunity to engage. You're going to hear and see 10 different stories of caring and chaos from IWs around the world. Our video team can't go, they're filming it themselves, and you'll see them pop up on social media and on the website. You have opportunities to engage in giving and supporting the workers who are staying in place and who need to extend gospel presence in those places. Will you join these workers in ensuring that the church advances even in this strange time? We are all facing a lot of uncertainty in these days. So coming to you and asking for missions giving feels a little weird, to be honest. But it's what's necessary because Jesus isn't done. He's not nervous, and he's calling us to engage and to join these workers, your workers around the world, in bringing the gospel to all kinds of places, even unexpected ones. No gift is too small, and together we can see what it looks like as a church to care in the middle of chaos.
Hi, my name is Mike Carletti. I'm one of the pastors here at York Alliance Church. And I want to share with you a unique opportunity that all of us are going to have relatively soon. You know, one of the ways that York Alliance Church engages its call to mission is by sending short-term teams all across the globe to partner with our full-time missionaries. Many of you have joined me in El Salvador or Palestine, while others I know have served in Macedonia alongside the Adderholts. And others still have served in Africa with the Straws or at Dorcas House. These are all important ways that we shape and form a heart of missions in our disciples. And they're important too because we get to support and encourage those that York Alliance has sent out in a full-time capacity. We've supported these trips in a variety of different ways in the past, including a mission love offering that many of you have given to each and every spring. This year, however, we've had to cancel all of our short-term trips overseas because of the pandemic. Here in the U.S., we've been blessed by a relatively strong economy, and all of us have received stimulus checks, whether we wanted them or not. But this isn't true in the rest of the world. The world's economies are reeling and finding it difficult to recover. And our missionaries are seeing a drop in giving, a decline in support of their work. This is where the opportunity comes in. York Alliance Church is going to be supporting our missionaries through a pandemic love offering. Starting July 5th and running through August 9th, giving over and above your tithes and offerings will be dedicated and directed to those missionaries who have a specific need. 100% of this offering will go directly into their hands. So how can you support this? Well, it's really easy. You can give through the Tithely app on your phone, or you can go to our website, click on the Give page, select the drop-down, and choose Pandemic Love Offering. You can give that way too. Or you can always give at one of our Sunday zone worship gatherings. Look for the Pandemic Love Offering envelopes. They'll be located near the donation boxes at your site. You know, as I think of the call to missions that Jesus gave us, his words from John chapter 4 are ringing in my ears. He says to his disciples, to look, to raise your eyes and see that the fields are white with harvest. I know this pandemic has turned our world upside down, but it's also created an unprecedented opportunity for us to share the love and hope of Jesus in both word and deed. Brothers and sisters, can I encourage you to join me in supporting those workers who are still laboring in the field by giving generously through this love offering, so that the love and hope of Jesus can continue to be proclaimed to a world that desperately needs to know him.
Thanks, Pastor Mike, for giving us such a practical way to be a blessing to those around us. We have something really exciting that I cannot wait to tell you about. You know how here at York Alliance, we celebrate new babies with a candle and a donation to Compassion International so that a mother and baby can be fed for an entire month? This is something that we do to celebrate with the family and the new birth of the baby, also on behalf of the baby. Well, we have something that's just as exciting. After 3 years of Fred and Sharon Weideman walking through the foster care process with Nasir, on this past Wednesday, he finally became a Weideman and they were able to officially adopt him. Nye, as he's affectionately called, is such a joy to be around, and we're so excited to have him truly a part of our family now. Because it's almost like a new baby has entered the family, we're going to donate to Compassion International for a mother and child to be fed for a month. We're also going to give you some pictures so that you can connect a face to a name so that you can be just as excited as we are. Thanks for joining us. This is the end of this edition of the York Alliance Weekly. If you have any COVID stories that you'd love to share with us, we would love to hear them and possibly even feature them in a future episode. Feel free to shoot us an email at info@yorkalliance.org. Thanks, and I hope you have a great week.